we're going to show you Natch in action and how we use it to optimize copy on a website. So this Natch was done back in February. So today is May. So I'm going to show you the results that have happened as a result of Natch, and then we'll show you the video we shot back in February when we were actually using Natch on the website. So first I wanted to show you the site. It's this one, Oz Lighting. They're a lighting retailer, just a pretty standard e-commerce store specializing in lighting and all sorts of lighting products. If we jump over to our friend Ahrefs here, you can see that they were, doing quite well back in 2018, and they got smashed in an algorithm update, and they were down in the doldrums, down in no man's land for a couple of years. Then they started work with Local Digital, and since they've started work with us, we've more or less tripled their traffic. Almost quadrupled their traffic. Sounds even better. You can see here, like visibility, they only had 70 odd keywords on page 1. 70 odd keywords in the top 3, and only 200 odd extra pages on page 1. If we jump up to here at the moment, they have 350 odd keywords in the top 3 and over 1,000 on page 1. The main page of their website is where we did most of the Natch work, and it's where a lot of their traffic comes from, but then we also did some on some of the main category pages. So, a success story. How did we do it? Well, I'm going to now cut over to Rob. He basically recorded himself in Loom as he used Natch and just spoke through the process. So it's a pretty rough and raw video, but it shows you how he uses the tool and how he thinks about the copy he's writing and the way he approaches optimizing a page. So you can see how it works in the wild. And apologies for the quality of the audio. For some reason, he was using the actual trackpad on his laptop. It's a bit noisy, but you can hear what he's saying. You can see what he's doing. You can see here the end result of Natch. So let's cut over to Rob and see him using Natch to drive results like this.
Hey Daniel Francis, thought I would just take you guys for a ride on what I do on the account. So this is just one of the processes that I run throughout the month, so just optimizing content. At the moment, I'm focusing on the homepage, as you guys have rolled out the theme update to the site a few days earlier. I do remember when the theme first updated, I did see the Australia's favorite lighting store banner at the top, but it's since disappeared. So essentially what I've done is I've taken a baseline of what the how the content was interpreted before the theme update, and I'm also just copy and pasted what the content is now. So pretty curious to see what it looks like without interpreting the Australia's favorite lighting store at the top, as well as with the other changes as well. So I'll hit analyze and let's have a look. I did copy and paste this before the call, otherwise you guys would have had to sit through me for 20 minutes copy and pasting that, which would get a bit boring. So, alright, cool. So just on face value, it does look quite a lot different from the previous copy, so the copy before the theme update. So I'll show you here, and page prior to theme update. So I'll just compare it to that. And yeah, so so I'll show you here. So it is maybe I should change things up here. So this is the content before the changes to the site. So lighting products, products in general, lighting store, lighting, all very high up in terms of the entity ranking. So from what I can see here, many of those entities have been pushed down quite a bit. So this one here has moved down. Basically the top entity from the previous result has moved down quite a lot. And similarly Australia here, which is entity telling, I guess, telling Google which areas you guys service is So it's all the way down here now. So definitely quite a few opportunities to improve. Cool. So the first thing I want to do, just by seeing this, is there's quite a few opportunities to push entities that are consumer goods all the way up. So lighting products, generally in the e-com space, I'd want to push those up. So these are the generic entities. Table lamps would be nice to have up a bit higher up, but not something that completely rush to do so. Just because we do have a table lamps category page. But these basically all give context to Google as to what the page is about. So I guess a variety of lighting, but ideally we wanted to let them know that this is an e-commerce site. And let's have a look at the sentiment. And let's just look over as well. So if I look, sentiment is essentially the overall importance of the entity to the entire document. So just having a look here, lighting products. So the magnitude has gone up, which is great, but the overall ranking of the entity has gone down. So definitely want to improve that. Most of the category has been maintained, which is great. Cool. So you should see there's two. There it is. Basically, I'm going to be talking to myself a lot here, but so now essentially what I do is essentially just test. So there's a lot of ideas I'm from this. So if we have a look at this one, and we see at the top right can see the shipping. So I could potentially try even adding back in, like, let's say what would happen if I add in Australia's favorite lighting store. Back to the top. And you can see how that would affect it. Cool. The lighting store location is at the top, and Australia is now back up here. Have a look at how that is compared to the original. Nice. So just on this, I guess I would want lighting store to be up here as well. Just because it's basically letting Google know, hey, it's a lighting store location, and Australia is also back up here, which is great to see. So let's have a look at it's quite a strong magnitude and sentiment scores, so good to see. So I am quite happy with that change, so I'll keep that one for now. And then now I'll go ahead and I'll make some other changes. So what happens is that if I make some other changes, it may push what I've done lower, or it could potentially push it higher, but there'll be a lot of trial and error. So I'll show you, for example, another change I could potentially do. Even just changing this to, I'm curious to see if I reword it. Not sure if I install Australia's, maybe Australia's number one lighting online lighting destination. Let's have a look. Cool. So it doesn't look like it had the effect. I want. So Australia. So the Australia entity has gone up, but we've lost the Australian store. In its place, we have lighting destination. Not exactly ideal. So what I would do is perhaps shift back to store or maybe shop. Let's have a look. Lighting shop. Nope, still not a location. So perhaps I'll do a lighting store. Nope. So it's gone up to 7, but it doesn't have the location attached to it. So what that tells me is it's number 1, or maybe potentially online, not allowing it to be picked up as the entity. Cool, so I was right. So lighting store is in 7, a bit lower than what it was before. The favorite prefix and adjective. So what we can do is number 1. Number 1. Lighting store. Number 1 lighting store in Australia. Let's have a look. So lighting store still there. Looks like it hasn't changed much in terms of salient score. So Australia's favorite and top lighting store. What it says here. Cool. So lighting store is now 0.05 seconds. And curious to see if I remove this and just remain with favorite lighting store. Will the sentiment change significantly? Alright, so now what I'm doing is I'll just compare this one to the previous one, which had and top. So this one is just favorite, Australia's favorite lighting store. The other one was Australia's favorite and top lighting store. So I can see the changes I made here. And indices haven't changed much. Sentiment has gone down. So from what it looks like, the previous one had a better effect on what I want. So for now, I'll stick with Australia's favorite and top lighting store. Perhaps leading sounds a bit better. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, so now next up, what I want to do is try to improve these lighting products entity. And this one's getting picked up here. So we also carry energy efficient lighting products. We also carry energy efficient lighting products that come with fantastic additional features. Okay. So energy efficient lighting products. I could potentially rewrite this entire sentence and see how it goes, but just to show you guys, potentially could change this energy efficient to we also carry a sensor range of lighting products. Let's see how this affects me. That was still the same. What's in? Let's have a look. entity rank 14. And 17. So potentially I could place it somewhere up here. Handpick selection of modern lighting products for new homes. Can you see if I change it from lowercase and how will I pick up lighting products? Cool. Interesting. Okay, so there it is. So as always, Google is very smart, but not sometimes not that smart. So, right. So what happens before was that because there was capitalization in the M here for modern, Google was picking it up as one entire entity for modern lighting products for new homes. Which I guess isn't ideal. So basically just changing the lowercase modern fortunately changed this to be now picked up as lighting products and improved the rank from 30 to 9 and changed new homes to its own entity, which is 39 as an organization, which doesn't make too much sense. It's probably picking it up as a company called New Homes. So let's see what happens if we change this to new and homes, lowercase. Cool. So then there it is. No longer an organization. Now it's entity rank 12 as homes, location, which makes much more sense.